Good morning, students. Myself, Vijay Shankar from DC Department, Chevrolet Engineering College. Today, we are going to discuss about the examples in the electrostatics, that is the third unit. So, find the magnitude of D bar and the P bar. Find the magnitude of D bar and P bar for a dielectric material. In which the magnitude of electric field is given the 0.15 millivolt meter, and the relaxation time, the XC is also given. XC is equal to 4.25. It is not the relaxation time, my dear students. It is a susceptibility, we can call it as dimensionless. For a dielectric medium, D bar is equal to, for a dielectric medium, D bar is equal to, the relation between of electric field and the electric flux is D bar is equal to epsilon naught into E bar. That epsilon naught is not directly, it is a epsilon into E bar actually. Is a epsilon naught and epsilon R. Okay. And epsilon R is equal to, implies that the epsilon R is equal to XE plus 1. What is the XE given? 4.25 plus 1. That is equal to 5.25. Okay, my dear friends. So we need to find the magnitude of the electric flux D bar. The D bar is equal to, the epsilon naught, we already know the value is 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12. And now the epsilon R, in the previous cases, it's a free space. We are saying the epsilon R is equal to 1. But here, the dielectric material in which the epsilon magnitude of electric field is given, and it is also they are asking for the XC is equal to, that XC is plus 1 is nothing but the epsilon R into 5.25. 5.25 is equal to, and here you can see the E bar also multiplied. Total function is epsilon naught and epsilon R into E bar. What is the E bar given? It's the magnitude only, the 0.15 milli 10 to the power of minus 3. So 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into 5.25 is epsilon R. Multiply with the electric field is a 0.15 milli 10 to the power of minus 3. That is equal to the D bar in terms of the coulomb per meter square, volt per meter is electric field. Totally you can multiply this function, you'll get as a 6.97 into 10 to the power of minus 15 coulomb per meter square. It's a magnitude of the D bar. And also you can find out the P bar for the dielectric material. What is the P bar is equal to XC into epsilon naught E bar. XC into epsilon naught E bar. These are one of the formula, my dear students. Remember this one. In the dielectric materials, the P bar is equal to XC given the 4.25. Epsilon naught is a constant value, 8.854 into the power of minus 12. And E bar is given the 0.15 milli. You can calculate the function. You get the 5.644 10 power minus 15 coulomb per meter square. Is the magnitude of the P bar is equal. Got it, my dear students? Now we got the new formula, that is epsilon R is equal to, whenever it is a given XC value, is a dielectric material. In that epsilon R is equal to XC plus 1, and the P bar is equal to, the P bar is actually the D only. The D is epsilon into E bar, that epsilon naught into epsilon R epsilon r is equal to 1 plus, we have to take down that function. And the p bar is xc into epsilon naught into e bar. Got it? The next example, find the polarization, the p, whatever we find now, the polarization, find the polarization in the dielectric material with given the epsilon r is 2.8 if the d bar is equal to. So d is given and the epsilon r is given. So what is the epsilon r related to the xc value? We know the xc plus 1 is equal to epsilon r. And epsilon r is equal to, not the epsilon r, xc is equal to epsilon r minus 1. That is equal to the epsilon r is given as a 2.8 minus 1. The xc now it is a 1.8. And we know the electric flux and the electric field related as epsilon naught epsilon r into E bar. And E bar is equal to D bar by, the D bar is given as a 3 into 10 power of minus 7 whole divided by the epsilon naught is 8.854 into 10 power of minus 12. I'm directly writing this epsilon r because it is not given as the xc, epsilon r only into 2.8. If it is a given xc means add 1 to get the epsilon r, or directly they given the epsilon r, subtract the 1 from epsilon r, you will get the xc. xc is equal to 1.8. Simplify here, you will get the E bar is equal to. E bar is equal to, what is the value of the 12.101? 10 power 3 volts per meter. Now we need to find the polarization of the dielectric material. Polarization P bar is equal to, what is the formula? In the previously we find that using this formula, the Xe into epsilon naught into D bar. Not the D bar, E bar. E bar is a polarization. P bar is equal to, what is the Xe now? 1.8. Epsilon naught is a 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12. And E bar, we got the 12.101. 12.101 into 10 to the power of, given it is a kilo 10 power 3. Got it? I will get 10 power 3 from this equation, the 12.101 into 10 power of 3. Simplify this function. 1.9285 in 10 power of minus 7. The polarization is also coulomb per meter square. As of D as coulomb per meter square. Same as the equation epsilon naught and epsilon r. Actually, it is not the epsilon r, it is as Xe1. Got it, my students? Coming to the next example. See, these are related to the boundary conditions. A potential field is given V is equal to 100 e power minus 5x sine 3y cos 4z. The voltage in terms of the x, y, and the z. Let the point P, the point 1, pi by 12, pi by 24 is given. Be located at a conductor free space boundary at point P. Find the magnitudes of voltage, electric field E bar, and the E suffix T and En. What is the E suffix T means? Tangential component. En is a normal component, and also the D bar electric flux, and Dn nothing but it is a normal electric flux normal to the direction, and the rho is surface charge density. So for the given the voltage V is equal to, and at the point of 0.1 pi by 12 and pi by 24, it is located at the free space boundary condition. So X is given the 0.1, Y is equal to pi by 12, and Z is equal to pi by 24 is given. So to find the, first of all, the electric field, the V is given, the electric field E bar is equal to the related between electric field and voltage, the potential E is equal to minus del V, the gradient of V you can see. E bar is equal to grade V or del V minus del V. Minus del V is a minus of dou by dou x of Vx. What is a Vx? Ax bar coefficient. Ax bar coefficient. Vx into Ax bar coefficient plus dou Vy by the dou pi. It is a totally the Ay bar coefficient. And similarly, the dou Vz by the dou Z is totally the Az bar coefficient. Is it LV? So take the total function, apply the with respect to the x. So sine 3y cos 4z is a constant, and we can apply only the derivative with respect to the x for e power minus 5x. So first term 100 sine 3y 4z, not the 4, cos 4z is constant, and e power minus 5x into minus 5 is the first term, and the second term plus is a Ax bar coefficient. Second term with respect to the y, so 100 into this is a totally minus is multiplied 100 into e power minus 5x, and cos 4z is a constant. Now the sine 3y, what is the sine 3y? Is a cos 3y is a derivative into 3 plus is a ay bar coefficient. Ay bar coefficient. Now the az bar coefficient is 100 into e power minus 5x and cos, not the cos, sine 3y and cos 4z. The derivative of cos is a minus sine. So minus sine 4z into 4. This totally is multiplied with a minus. This is a x z bar coefficient minus az bar coefficient. Okay. Simplify the function by substituting the values of x is a 0.1 and y is a pi by 12 and z is a pi by 4. So y is pi by 12. Pi by 12 means 3 is multiplied here. Pi by 4, sine pi by 4, 1 by root 2, cos 4z. So cos 4z means cos z is equal to pi 24, 4 pi by 6, cos pi by 6. Find this value here. And e power x minus 5x, x value is a point. Substitute all the x, y, and the z value in this equation and find the coefficients of Ax, Ay, and Az bar. The Ax bar coefficient is a 185.7 minus 111.4 and plus 85.77 is a Az bar coefficient. And its magnitude is magnitude means E bar is equal to, the magnitude of E bar is equal to under root of Ax bar coefficient square 185.7 whole square plus minus 111.4 whole square plus 85.77 whole square. Okay, to find this value, it is 232.9 volt per meter. Okay, so we got E bar is equal to the P. Now the third one, the tangential component ET is equal to 0 as a P is on the boundary. The point P is on the boundary, the tangential component is a 0. And the normal component En is it's a magnitude of En is equal to magnitude of the E bar 232.9206 volt per meter. Got it, my students? The next it is a D bar. The D bar is related with E bar is epsilon naught into the total E bar, and we'll get again X bar coefficient for the electric flux, AY bar and the AZ bar. So magnitude is getting of squaring of all the values as similar to the E bar we find under root of 1.588 whole square minus 0.9529 whole square and 0.7337 whole square. You get the D bar is equal to, that is 1.992 nanocoulomb per meter square. And the Dn, what is the En here? The normal component of electric field, magnitude of E bar. Normal component of electric flux is also the magnitude of D bar, that is a 1.99 nanocoulomb per meter square. Okay. So we got the normal component and for the electric field and the normal component for the electric flux, and the tangential component is equal to 0. Et is equal to 0 means dt is also the 0. And the Dn is equal to the rho s, because it is on the surface on the boundary, the point P is on the boundary. The rho s, the normal component is equal to the surface charge density only. The rho s in the boundary condition, what we assume here, rho s is equal to 1.992 nanocoulomb per meter square. Okay, my dear students. The next example, the region with z less than the 0, it is characterized by epsilon r2 is equal to 2 and z is greater than the 0. Z is greater than 0. And epsilon r1 is equal to 5 if D is given, the D bar 2ax bar plus 5ay bar minus 3az bar nanocoulomb per meter square, and find the D2 bar. The D1 bar is given, D2 bar, Dn2 normal component of the second, and the D tan 2 bar, and energy density in each region, and to find the angle that D2 bar makes with the z axis, and the magnitude, not the magnitude of D2 by the D1, the ratio, and magnitude of the polarization, that is a P2 by the P1. Okay. Here also it is a very important, my dear students. So many formulas are used to find this example 5.9 and the 5.10 as related to the boundary conditions. Tangential 1 and the tangential 2 and epsilon r1 and epsilon r2, they are the same, means definitely that is a boundaries between the medium 1 and the medium 1 and the medium 2, that is a dielectric boundary between two dielectrics, that is a medium 1 and the medium. So in the medium 1, everything is epsilon 1, eta 1 and sigma 1, rho 1 and whatever it is, and here the epsilon 2, sigma 2, eta 2 and rho 2, so on. And here the tangential 1 and the tangential 2, the boundary between here the tangential 1, the medium 1, and the tangential 2, the normal 1 and the normal 2. Okay. And electric field and electric flux also, the D1 is a medium 1 and D2 is a medium 2 and E1 is a medium 1 and E2 is a medium 2. The two media are separated by the Z is equal to 0 plane. This is Z is equal to 0 plane. And plus or minus AZ are the directions of normal to the surface. Okay, there is a plus or minus. It's a plus direction of AZ and minus direction of AZ. AZ bar is a positive, and this one is a AZ bar downward means a negative. T1 is given 2 into AX bar plus 5 AY bar minus 3 AZ bar nano coulomb per meter square. D1 is equal to, it is a combination of D1 bar is equal to normal component and tangential component, both the additive combination. So normal direction of the surface is plus or minus AZ bar, hence the part of D1 in the direction is plus or minus AZ bar only. So Tn1 is a minus 3 AZ bar, whatever the term is there here. The normal component is along the direction of the Z minus 3 AZ bar. Then from this equation, the relation between the D1 and the D1 is equal to normal and the tangential. D1 is along the normal component. See here. And plus or minus AZ bar are the directions of normal to the surface. Normal to the surface. Actually, the boundary is like this. You can take a rectangle function to find the tangential component, and a cylinder we can take to find the normal components. The normal component is in the z-axis only. So Dn1 is a minus 3 AZ bar. There's a nano coulomb per meter square. Okay, given that is a D1 having minus 3 AZ bar. From that, the D tan 1 is equal to D bar minus Dn1. 2 AX bar plus 5 AY bar. When we can subtract these two functions, subtraction the two functions, D tan 1 is equal to D1 minus Dn1. The minus means minus into minus is a plus 3 AZ bar, and here the minus 3 AZ bar is get cancelled. We have only the two terms AX and the AY. According to the boundary conditions, Dn1 is equal to Dn2. And the two media is a dielectric media. Normal components is both are equal. So Dn1 is equal to Dn2. So already we know the Dn1 is a minus 3 AZ bar. Dn2 is also minus 3 AZ bar. So we got a Dn2. Got it, my students. So first one. And the tangential components, according to the boundary conditions, the ratio between of d tan 1 by the d tan 2 is equal to tan 1 by the tan 2 is equal to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. That is given in terms of epsilon r1 by the epsilon r2. Epsilon r1 is a 5 here and epsilon r2 is a 2, 5 by 2. D tangential is there. D tan 1 is equal to 2 into x bar plus 5 AY bar. I can find D tan 2 from this equation. So see here, the D tan 1 is equal to 2 into x bar plus 5 AY bar by the tan 2. And we given epsilon r1 by epsilon r2 5 by 2. You'll get the D tan 2. Okay. D tan 2. So D tan 2 is equal to 2 by 5 into 2 into x bar plus 5a by bar. Is x bar coefficient is a 0.8 and 2a y bar is a normal component. C minus position. This D1 is an angle with the theta 1 and the D2 is an angle with the theta 2 bar. So we got the D tangential 2 means D2 is equal to the combination of Dn2 plus D tan 2. Previously, the Dn1 means D1 is a Dn1 plus D tan 1. So now we got the normal component N2 and the normal tangential component D tan 2. D tan 2 we know 0.8 AX bar plus 0.2 AY bar plus 2 AY bar. And Dn1 and the Dn2 is both are equal according to boundary conditions of dielectric and dielectric. That is a minus 3 AZ bar only both. This is a D2 we got. Got it, minus. So in this example, what they ask here to find the D2, dN2 we got, D tan 2 is also we got. Okay, all the functions, whatever they ask, D2 and the dN2 and the D tan 2 values. Another one, they ask that is energy density in each region. Energy density in each region. What is energy density formula here? W is equal to 1 by 2, the T1 by the epsilon 1. It is only in terms of the D, or in terms of the E and D is T square and E square. In the D means by the epsilon, in terms of the E is epsilon into E value. Okay, the function, so WE is equal to actually is 1 by 2 integral D bar dot E bar minus. Okay, D bar dot E bar. Whenever if it is a magnitude only, we can take WE1 is equal to 1 by 2. It is also equal to that 1 by 2, the integral of D bar we can write as epsilon into E bar square into epsilon. When in terms of the E bar, it is also equal to 1 by 2 epsilon integral of D bar square. That only here we are using. When WE1 means D1 bar square magnitude whole divided by the epsilon. That epsilon 1 is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon R1. So 1 by 2, the D1 bar. So what is the D1? The coefficients of AX, coefficient of AY, and the coefficient of AZ. D2 is equal. That is a 2 square, 5 square, and a 3 square. D2, here the D2 means 0.8 square, 2 square, and 3 square. See 0.8 square, 2 square, and minus 3 square is the coefficients of AX, AY, and AZ. When it is a D1, whatever the previous value is there, and D2, this is the equation. And divided with 1 by 2, the epsilon naught is 8.854 to the power of minus 12. And epsilon R1, 1 is given as 5 and 2 is given as a 2 value. So substitute, we'll get the W1 and the W2. 0.4291 micro joules per meter cube, and similarly the other one is a 0.3851 micro joules per meter cube. Okay, my students. And next they ask that find the angle of D2 with the z-axis that is minus AZ bar to obtained by the dot product. Okay, we know the formula for the dot product is A bar dot B bar is equal to, what is the formula? The magnitude of A, magnitude of B, and cos theta. If it is a cross product means A bar cross B bar is equal to, cross product is always you can take in the sin theta. A bar and the B bar magnitude sin theta. We required here it is a D2 bar dot AZ bar. Find the angle of D bar with the Z axis. So A bar I am taking as a D2 bar dot B bar, whatever the B bar here, it's a minus AZ bar. Apply the dot product here, magnitude of D2 bar and magnitude of AZ bar cos theta. What is the D2 magnitude means? Here the value is the same thing, under root of 0.8 whole square plus 2 square plus minus 3 whole square only is the D2 bar. AZ bar, what is the coefficient of AZ? Having only the 1. So the value is a 1, and cos, because it is a 2 function, so cos theta 2. Okay, my dear students. Already then the left hand side also 0.8 AX and 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 2 into AY minus 3 into AZ bar dot minus AZ bar. AZ into AX is a 0. AZ into AY is a 0, both are get cancelled. Minus into minus is a plus. 3 into AZ dot AZ is a 3 of. We require the angle cos theta 2. The theta 2 is equal to 35.678 degrees. They show that the D bar is with an angle of theta 1, D1 bar, and D2 bar with an angle is a theta. That theta 2 we got 35.678 degrees. Got it, my students. And the last one, alternately, the tan theta 2 is equal to D tan 2. This, let us take this function is a normal function, dn2, and tangential component is a tan theta is the opposite side by the opposite side, d tan. Adjacent side is a dn2. It's a right angle triangle we have for the d2. Opposite side is a d tan 1, not the d tan 1, is a d tan 2, and adjacent side is a dn2. These are the dn1, and if it is also the right angle triangle, it is a d tan 1, the tangential components. That will get the theta 2 is equal to 35.678. This alternative you can also find by using the formula of the tan theta 2 in the diagram, the right angle triangle we can consider. Got it, by the students. And the last one in this D2 bar is equal to 30.3.692, and D1 is 6.19, and they're asking that the ratio between of the magnitudes of D2 by the D1. It's a magnitude. Magnitude means AX bar coefficient, AY bar coefficient, and AZ bar coefficient. A D2 will get and the D1, and the ratio between these two will get the 0.599. And also the polarization. The previous example we find that is a polarization P is equal to XC into E already got and epsilon naught. XC is nothing but here there is a epsilon R on E bar. The polarization you can take is a magnitude that is equal to XC into epsilon naught. E bar in terms of the D bar is a D bar by epsilon R into epsilon naught. Okay. What is the epsilon R in terms of the XC here? XC into epsilon naught D bar by its of the magnitude D bar, and it is a XC plus 1. This formula is also we already seen epsilon naught. Okay, my dear students. The P bar is equal. So epsilon naught and epsilon naught is get cancelled. P bar is equal to XC into D bar magnitude by XC plus 1. XC plus 1. These are D. So what is the epsilon R is the XC plus 1. Okay. So XC into D bar magnitude is the epsilon R. What is the XC? XC is epsilon R minus 1. Okay. Epsilon R in terms we can write here. Epsilon R minus 1 is a D bar by epsilon R. Okay. Now, there is a function we got. There's a P bar in terms of the D. Now they are asking that is a ratio between of the polarization of P2 by the P1 magnitude. What is the P we got? Epsilon R minus 1 by the epsilon R means epsilon R2 minus 1 by the epsilon R2 into D bar magnitude whole divided by epsilon R1 minus 1 by epsilon R1 D magnitude. So D bar get cancelled. Then it becomes of epsilon R2 minus 1 by the epsilon R2 whole divided by, not the whole divided by this function, you can write in the multiplication factor, epsilon R1 by epsilon R1 minus 1. We have these values 2 and 5. Substitute those values here. 2 and 5. That's 2 is epsilon R2 and 5 is epsilon R1. substitute those values and find the ratio between of P2 and the P1. That is 0.3743. Got it, my dear students? There is so many formulas we got in the today's examples, the boundary conditions, and in the last class also we got the 3 examples, very important equations. Understood, my dear students? And next one, next example, you see, is the last example in this chapter. Not in the unit 3, is a chapter related to the boundary conditions and dialectic. Given that E1 is equal to 2 into AX bar minus 3AY bar plus 5AZ bar. Similarly, in the previous case, they are given D1. Now, they are giving that it is a E1. At the charge-free dielectric interface, find the D2 and the angle theta1 and the theta2. The previous case, it is a D1 and here the D2. Right angle triangle we considered. The theta2 is here and the theta1 is here. In the previous case, the theta1 is from the z-axis to the angle and from the z-axis to this one. Okay, the E1 bar is given. So then you can find E1 is equal to E normal 1 and the E tan 1. En1 is equal to 5AZ bar because it's a z-axis given is a 5Z. The remaining is a procedure is the same. In terms of the field is given. In the previous example, in terms of the flux, electric flux is given. The totally the remaining is total, the function is same. D2 is equal to dN2 plus d tan 2. E is equal to E1 is equal to En1 plus E tan. Okay. You do this one and go into the next one. This is another one in terms of the capacitances. So in the magnetic field, there is inductance. In the electric field, you have to relate it to the capacitance. So find the capacitance of a conducting sphere. Find the capacitance of a conducting sphere of 2 centimeters in diameter and covered with a layer of polyethylene with epsilon r is equal to 2.26 and 3 centimeters thick. Okay, epsilon r is given the 2.26 and 3 centimeters thick is there. The capacitance conducting sphere with a diameter of 2 centimeters in diameter and covered with a layer of polyethylene with 3 centimeters thick with epsilon r is equal to 2.26. You have to find out the capacitance. The radius of the sphere is A. The radius diameter is given by d by 2. The radius is equal to diameter by 2, the 1 centimeters. And the radius R1 is A of the radius of the sphere and plus thickness. Okay, consider here the A as the radius of the sphere. Given it is in terms of the diameter, so convert into the radius of A. And R1, the R1 we can take it as A plus whatever the thickness is there given. 1 plus 3 is a 4 centimeters. This form of the two capacitors in series C1 is equal to capacitor to the spherical arrangement of concentric spheres 4 pi epsilon by 1 by A minus 1 by B, where A is 1 centimeters and the B is including the thickness, that is R1 4 centimeters. Substitute those values. 4 pi epsilon is a epsilon r is given 2.26 and it is multiplied with 8.854 epsilon naught 8.854 in power of minus 12 and 4 centimeters as a 1 by 10 power minus 2 and 1 by 4 into 10 power of minus 2 centimeters converted to the meters here. The C1 we got C1 is equal to 4 pi 2.26 epsilon r, and epsilon naught is 8.854 into the power of minus 12. Got it, my students? The C1 we got is a 3.3527 is a picofarads, and the C2 due to the isolated sphere of R1 is equal to 4 centimeters, that is equal to 4 pi epsilon R1. So, but between these spheres, the radius R1 and the sphere of at the infinite, the dielectric is in the free space epsilon naught. So, C2 is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R1. So, epsilon naught is taken as 8.854 into the power of minus 12. And R1 is 4 centimeters, is converted into the meters is a 4 into 10 power of minus 2. 4.4505 is a picofarads of C1 and C2. Finally, I need the C equivalent. The C equivalent is both are is a parallel. 1 by C equivalent is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. This is a formula. The C equivalent is equal to 1 by C equivalent is equal to, so C2 plus C1 by the C1 and the C2. C1 and C2. So C equivalent is equal to, there is a C1, C2 by C1 plus C2. Okay, this is the equation we got. So C1 and C2 we got as 3.3335, and here the 4.45 substitute here. Totally you'll get the C equivalent is equal to 1.9121 picofarads. Is a capacitance we got. And finally can substitute that the C is equal to 4 pi A 1 by A minus 1 by B. Okay, it's a direct formula in this case. The C is equal to, can use this formula. To forget it is a directly 1.912. It's a 4 pi by 1 by epsilon 1 into 1 by A minus 1 by R1 plus 1 by epsilon naught into epsilon R. So it is a little bit confusion. So you can use the above procedure only to find the C 1.9121 picofarads. Okay, my dear students.